Hello, this is a quick walk through the workflow, how to enable and how to manage the off-site projects in Smart Instrumentation. So I will go through all these 13 steps uh, and we'll show you how it works. So the first step, we need to switch the domain to the operating owner or the engineering company with project capabilities. So I will be using the demo domain, and here I will switch to the owner operator. Okay, so the next step, we need to create a new unit in this current plant to define the naming convention, make some other settings. So I will minimize my effort to creating the new unit within the plant and define the naming convention. So let's assume under the CRUD area, I will create a new unit. We'll call it, let's say, unit 103, with the number 103. And I will define the naming convention, the minimum naming convention required. So we'll navigate to the unit, new created unit 103, and we'll copy the naming convention from any other unit. So let's say from unit 1. Okay, so next step will be to create a project and scope the new unit. So within this domain, I open the project management tool, project activities tool, create a new project. I will call it project 1, for example. So that would be referencing to the new refinery plant. And I can scope. So before I can scope, you need to save changes. To simplify the workflow, I would copy the user groups from as-built to this project. But this is not mandatory to do, right? So you can define your own groups later on. Has successfully completed, so now you're ready to select the new unit 103 to be scoped into this project. Okay, so the next step would be to export the project into the DDTI file. So I assume that that project is just the empty box to be externalized to the to some subcontractor that would use it in a separated individual or disconnected environment, I would say. So you select the project and you select the export. So here you just define the location where you would like to store, to save the file. Click OK. So exporting the project data may take some time. So do you want to continue? Yes. So here's the message. If you want to have the access to the reference data as a read-only in the external project, so you need to click yes. If you want to allow the full access to the reference data, so then you select no. Right. So the differences between those two options is that if you don't want the external subcontractor to modify the reference data, so you would let them to have it the read-only access. If you want to let them the full access, right? So you select the. So then you just need to update your workflow to ensure that the reference data is always synchronized in between the host project and the offset project. So for the sake of the simplicity, I will select no. Although I'm not going to change any reference data in the offsite project. That process created that DDTI file. So this is the container of the exported project data. So the next step will be to initialize a new domain using a specific template, no-ref data DDTI, which is supplied with the Smart Instrumentation version 14. So I will close this environment. So I need to log in as the system administrator. And now I will initialize a new domain and will source the template. This is a specific file that you must use to initialize the offsite domain. So you connect to it, right? So you select no ref data domain. You can you don't need to save last created ID. You can copy users and departments if you want. Otherwise, you can create them in the offsite domain later on. For the simplicity of this task, I will select the checkbox to copy users and departments for target domain. So I don't do this job there. So click OK. I will call this domain like external domain 1. And go through the typical process of initializing new domain. So if you pay attention, the target domain type is engineering company domain type. Click OK and process for the creation of this new domain. So it will take some time. Okay, so once it has successfully finished, so we are moving to the next step, which is we need to switch external domain to the domain type engineering company with project capabilities. So just switch to the system administration, open the domain definition for the external domain, and now I need to switch it to the engineering company with project capabilities. Now the next step, we need to create a project within that external domain with no scope. So we do this in the domain administration for the external domain, open project management, and here we create new project. So I will call it external project 1. So it doesn't matter what plant you use here. You can use the default plant, or you can create a new plant and then assign it this project to a new plant. It really doesn't matter. And you don't need to select the scope. So you simply hit apply. Do you want to copy groups from the as build? So let's say yes, for the sake of the simplicity of this task. Okay, the creation of the project was successful. So next step, we need to import external project DTI file into our external project within the external domain. So how we do this, we still stay on that project activities window and we select import. So click import. We need to navigate to the location of the externalized project backup. So click OK. And now you have a choice. You would like to import all data or exclude the specs or specification and process data only. So I will choose all data, since we don't have any data there. This process can take some time, so you should just wait. So once completed, we can move to the next step, which is to log in Smart Instrumentation, the external project, and there we can create loop instruments to perform the project activities. We're assuming that we are operating in the offsite domain. So I will run Smart Instrumentation. Log in to the external domain, and I need to log into the external project. So that external project has a scope of the unit 103, which has no data yet. However, all the reference data had been scoped into this external project. Okay, so you can open the reference data explorer and you can observe that this is the data coming from the demo domain. Okay, so now I can just quickly process through the creation of the new loop. So I will call it like 8001, for example. Just quickly do this without investing too much time here. And I will create the one instrument. We'll call it 8001, let's say A. I will apply some instrument type, whatever it is comes by default. Okay, accept the default properties. So observe that that the loop in the instrument was created. I would like also maybe create some spec sheet. So I will go to the specification module and will create the spec sheet for that instrument. So doing this very quickly. So I will choose the form 56. Create the spec. And let me say that I will just put the service here like external project data. Okay, we'll save changes. And now we're ready to move to the next step. So the next step will be to export the project, external project from the external domain into the DDTI file. So I will close the SPI by now. So I'll go back to my domain admin. I log in as a domain administrator into the external domain. Open the project activities window and select my external project. So now I need to export this project. So I use the export function. So pay attention that now that external project is assigned to the plant new refinery. And the scope was unit 103. So now I export it, I put it into the same location that I used before. Exporting the project data may take some time. Do you want to continue? Yes. And again, you asked if you want to have the reference data with the read-only access or with the full access. So we will allow the full access, of course, because we are returning that external project into the host domain. Project data exported successfully. So you can find it here. So this one. So I just look by date. Right. So next step will be import the external project DDTI file into the owner-operator domain project, where external project was originally created from. So now I log in as a domain administrator to my host domain, which is demo domain. Open the project activities. Select my project, project 1, and I use the import feature to import the DDTI file that was created by exporting the external project. Okay, it will be this one, a side project, external project 1. So I want all data to be imported back into the host domain. So important project may take some time. Do you want to continue? Yes. It will take the time depending on the size of your external project data. So the import was completed successfully. And the next step would be to log into the SPI Smart Instrumentation Owner-Operator project and observe the new data. So now I close this project activities. I need to log in back to the Smart Instrumentation. And I log in to my host domain, to the demo domain project. I need my unit 103. So now in that unit observe the new data has arrived from the external project. So I have my loop with the one instrument, and there I apply the profile that created the process data sheet and the spec sheet, right? So I can open my spec sheet, and I'm looking for that unique description that I entered in the external project, saying external project data. It should be project data, right? So I just mistyped it. But in fact, the data has successfully arrived. And the next step is to merge the project to the host and delete the project. So I just close my spec. And under the tools menu, I have the option merge and delete the project. So once you click this button, that will notify that the current project will be deleted after merging. All users connected to the project will be disconnected, and their unsafe data will be lost. So it is important to ensure that users are logged off from that project. Do you want to continue? Yes. So the project was successfully merged. Once you click OK, so the project has gone. In SPI, you need to relog in again to the host domain. You see there is no project anymore here. So you can log into the unit 103. And observe the external project data have been successfully merged and now available in the host domain. Okay, I will open the spec to ensure that the data is there. Okay, so that's all, that the entire work process. So here is the outline of all the steps. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.